Okay, welcome to my video on how to successfully install Sony Vegas 8 Pro Build B along with the keygen. To start off, you need to get a copy of Sony Vegas 8. You can find that on the piratebay.org. It is a torrent site. It's a very good torrent site. It's very large. And Sony Vegas 8 should be under the top 100 under Windows applications. So I got this one. Okay, to start off, there are only two files that you're going to need in this folder. The first is Vegas Pro Build Installer, and the next is the keygen. These three, the README, the Vegas Pro Manual, and the Media Manager, you do not need. In fact, I could probably just go ahead and get rid of these right here. Okay, so now I have these. What you're going to do first is just run through a normal install setup of Vegas Pro 8, which I have already done. I have it installed and everything already. So, once you go through that, you're going to want to run the program, and right away when you run the program, it's going to ask you for a serial number. This is where you run the keygen, and I'm just warning you right now, the keygen has background music and it's a little annoying, but if you do it this way, then you won't have to have the keygen running the whole time, as long as you have a notepad open right here. I have it set to my alt tab. Okay, so run the keygen, and this is the most confusing part for some people. You're going to want to click this down arrow where it says product name, see right here, and scroll down to Vegas Pro 8.0A. People get confused because it doesn't say Pro Build B, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, so you're going to copy the serial number here and put it in Notepad, and copy the authentication code. Okay, once you do that, the first thing you're going to want to do is hit patch. Now it's going to ask you where you saved Sony Vegas to when you installed it. Most people will have it saved to their program files, which it should be in here, right here, and Sony and Vegas Pro 8, and just that folder. You can just hit OK. Okay, and it'll automatically run through the patch for you, right, like so. And it's running through the patch, This is so that you can use this authentication code when you go to authenticate your program. If you don't do it, then your activation code will not work properly. Okay. Now, what you want to do after you copy the serial number is just take it, copy it, and then put it where it asks you for the serial number. You'll notice with Sony Vegas 8, it asks you must have these characters, as the first three characters on the serial number. If these are not the first three characters, 1FW, you do not have the right serial number. Make sure that you hit the little drop down bar and select Vegas Pro 8.0A, and it'll automatically generate it for you. Okay, so you're going to copy this and paste it, and then you're going to run through, just keep hitting next until it'll ask you to register your product. When you register your product, you're going to have to fill in some contact information. Fill in just completely fake information, and when it asks you for your city and country, a lot of common ones are Beijing, China, Tokyo, Japan, stuff like that. And then it'll ask you for your zip code. Here, 1 second. Countries, cities. Okay. Now it does that. And then eventually it'll ask you for a zip code. Honestly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 works like a charm. And then make sure that when you do this, I don't quite remember if it's before or after, but it'll ask you where do you want to register, and it'll give you an option. It'll either be register from online or register from another computer. Pick this one, register from another computer. And all it'll do is it'll just ask you where do you want to save the registration information. I think it's after you enter this information, the name and all that. Just save it right to your desktop, and then when you go to register it again, it'll ask you to bring up the information, obviously, and just select the file that you saved. Okay, do that. And then this is where the patch comes in. You'll hit next a couple times, blah 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 blah, and then it'll ask you activation code. And then it'll give you a bunch of big area for you to enter the activation code. You've seen it. It's very long. And what you'll do is you'll just copy activation code. Make sure you have your Sony Vegas patched already. Hit paste, and then under it it'll just be like, it'll be in an orange bar just like the serial number. It'll just be like X's and stuff like that, you know, like just to tell you. For this one there's no specific 3 characters, because obviously, you know, they can't do that. Okay, so you'll enter that. If you're patched correctly, which you should be, then you'll just go ahead and keep going through the registration, and you'll finish, and then it should say something along the lines like Sony Vegas 8 has been registered successfully or something. If at any time that you have any problems at all registering your product, either with patching or using the keygen, or if I didn't explain something clear enough, or if you have any questions whatsoever, you can either send me a message on my MSN, which is fballjack@yahoo.com, or you can send me an email at fballjack@gmail.com. I hope this has helped some of you people out there who don't know what you're doing. I hope it cleared up some of the questions you may have in installing and using the crack for Sony Vegas 8.0 Pro Build B. That's it. Okay. Have fun and happy video editing.